Students, under chapter reproduction in organisms, in our last class we were discussing about sexual reproduction in organisms. We will continue discussing that. Let us just recall what we have learned in our last class. Under heading, we were learning sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction in organisms. So if we have to just recall what we have learnt in last class. Under sexual reproduction, we have learned that there are three phases in the lifespan of organisms. Like soon after birth, the phase is called juvenile phase, or also called vegetative phase. At this phase, organisms will not have ability to reproduce. This is soon after birth. Even in human beings also, soon after birth, newborn baby cannot reproduce. Then second phase will be called reproductive phase. That is when organisms attain maturity or puberty, sexual maturity. Maybe in case of human beings, maybe at the age of 12 years or 13 years. At that age, their reproductive organs will be mature and starts producing gametes or sex cells like sperm and egg in male and female. So that is a reproductive phase. And last phase will be old age. Old age or senescence. Senescent phase means death phase. So these are the three phases. Under this chapter, what is important for us is reproductive phase, because at that stage only organisms will reproduce. So in last class we have learned that in case of plants especially, flower is a sexually reproductive part, but all the plants doesn't produce flower throughout the year. Some plants produce flowers only once in a year. They are called annual plants. Some plants produce flowers twice in a year, that is called biennial plant. And some plants produce flowers throughout the year, that is called perennial plants. Then some plants show unusual flowering, means throughout the year they don't produce any flowers. That too, every year also they don't produce. Some plants show unusual flowerings, like bamboo, what we have learnt in last class. Bamboo produces bunch of flowers and fruits only once in their lifetime, that is after 50 to 80 years, and soon after producing flowers and fruits, bamboo plant will die. Then we have also learnt one more plant called Strobilanthes kuntiana, also called Neelakuranji. Strobilanthes kuntiana, called Neelakuranji. Usually it is found in Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, in the hill station, where it will turn entire hill station blue color because of the blue color flowers produced. Then we have also learnt that even in organisms like animals also, two types of breeders are there. Means some are called seasonal breeders like dogs. Seasonal breeder means they have reproductive ability only in one particular season, not entire year, not throughout the year, only in one particular season. But human beings are continuous breeders, means throughout the year we have ability to reproduce. I think only till here we have discussed in our last class. Okay, so today we will continue discussing same heading. Under same sexual reproduction in flowering plants heading, not flowering plants, sexual reproduction in organisms. Under this heading only we have learnt all these concepts. Now we will continue discussing it. Like I told you in last class that in case of primates, this is also discussed in last class. Primates means animals which come under order Primata, like humans, monkeys, apes, that is chimpanzees. These are all primates. In them, a periodic cycle, the monthly periods is what we call menstrual cycle. This also we have discussed in last class. But in case of non-primates, that is organism which doesn't come under order Primata, like you can take example of dogs, horses, then elephants, then you can take example of donkey, okay, other animals like even cats also you can take example. Okay, so in all these organisms the monthly periods is called estrus cycle. Already we discussed in last class. Only till here we had discussed in last class, if you remember, isn't it? So we will continue discussing it. After reproductive phase, we have seen that it is a old age. Old age leads to senescence, means slowly causes death of the organisms. After reproductive phase is over, it will be old age. Okay, ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಏಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯರಿಗೆ, then finally they will die. So during old age, what all processes happen? Organisms grow old. What all things happen in the body? Organisms grow old. At that time, some concomitant changes will occur in the body. Means some changes will occur in the body when they are growing old. What all changes? Metabolism slows down. Means all the metabolic processes occur in the body will slow down. Means respiration, digestion ability. Okay, so all the abilities of the body will decrease. That is, digestion power also will decrease when they grow old. So whatever they eat, everything they cannot digest. They will have indigestion problems because the metabolic processes will slow down. That shows that they have attained old age. Okay, so then finally it leads to death. Now under this heading, sexual reproduction in organisms, we have to see a last part under this heading, subheading sexual reproduction in organisms. That is, what decides three phases of life. Like juvenile phase is soon after birth, then organisms attain reproductive phase, then old age, then finally death. So from juvenile phase, that is newborn baby, becomes sexually mature. Like you consider this is first when it is born, then suppose it is 13 years. In these 13 years, what all changes happen? Or at the age of 13 or 12 years, when they attain sexual maturity, what makes them to attain sexual maturity? What is the reason for sexual maturity? Only because reproductive organs will grow in size and mature, and for maturation of reproductive organs, and reproductive organ starts producing gametes. Like in human male, testis produces sperm. In human female, ovary produces egg. So egg and sperm are called gametes. You know, gametes means sex cells. Male sex cell is sperm, female sex cell is egg. What makes the body of male and female to produce gametes? Simple reason is hormones. You have already learned this in first PUC. Hormones are very important. Some hormones are required for reproductive organs to mature and start producing gametes. For sexual maturity, Hormones are very important. So hormones are responsible for change from juvenile phase to reproductive phase. In some human beings, in some organisms, hormones will not be produced in enough quantity. Okay, then they will have problem with their sexual maturity. Like I have read in newspaper that a girl at the age of 24 years, she was 24 years old, but she didn't get menstrual cycle. No periods, no monthly periods in her. Only because hormones were required for sexual maturity was not produced. She was like a children only. Okay, so she cannot reproduce. She cannot produce offsprings. The only reason is no menstrual cycle, no egg produced in the body. If no egg, then simply sperm enters the body, egg is not there, then how it will produce offspring? No chance. So hormones are required. Even one other factor is there. Even though hormones are there, some other factors also decide, like environmental factors also decide. Environmental factors also decide. Climatic conditions also decide changes in the reproductive organs. Even some other reasons also are there. Some other reasons that they did not mention in the textbook. Some other reasons will be there, so that reproductive phase will alter in some organisms. Like some organism will not get sexual maturity because of some reasons. Some other reasons, like some will have genetic reasons. There are some genetic disorders where you will see that organisms will be sterile. Sterile means they don't have ability to reproduce throughout the lifespan. Sterile. Okay, so like you can say impotent. So you know the meaning of this reproductive health chapter already you have learnt. So you know for infertility what is the reason. Infertility means inability to reproduce. There reproduce ಮಾಡೋ ability ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು infertility ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ. So there are so many reasons for that we have learnt in chapter reproductive health. So in this chapter in textbook they have just mentioned some other reasons already you know in reproductive health chapter. Okay, so that is why if you have learned reproductive health chapter, this chapter will be easy. That is why I have taught reproductive health first, then I taught reproduction in organisms. So this completes one part, that is sexual reproduction in organisms, under heading. This is the introduction for sexual reproduction in organisms. Now next what we have to learn is, under sexual reproduction we have to learn about events of sexual reproduction, stages of sexual reproduction. There are 3 events of sexual reproduction. What are those? We will see now. Events of sexual reproduction. Don't think that this chapter is related only to human beings. These are related to all the organisms. It can be algae, bacteria, fungus, bryophytes, gymnosperms, pteridophytes, angiosperms, flowering plants, or any animals. So because that is why they have written reproduction in organisms, all the living organisms, not related only to human beings. Chapter 3, human reproduction is there, that is only regarding human beings. But this chapter is how reproduction occurs in different organisms, all the organisms on earth that we are learning. So events of sexual reproduction is common for all the living organisms which undergoes sexual reproduction. Whichever living organism undergoes sexual reproduction, for them these events are common. Even though they produce different type of gametes, different structures are produced in sexual reproduction, but events are same. Stages are same, but they may produce different gametes. Like for example, human beings produce sperm and egg as gametes or sex cells, but bryophytes and pteridophytes produce antherozooids and egg. The structures are different, gametes look different, but events involved in sexual reproduction is same. The stages of sexual reproduction are same. Okay, so what are those events? We will see now. Exactly, fertilization is one event, you know. Fertilization is one event. Already you know what is meant by fertilization in human reproduction chapter, but also I will tell you once again. Fertilization means it is union of male and female gametes. In case of human beings, male gamete is sperm, female gamete is egg. When sperm meets the egg, that is called fertilization. So meeting of or union of male and female gametes is called fertilization. That is, in case of human beings, sperm meets the egg, then it becomes a zygote, zygote becomes embryo, and embryo becomes fetus, that is baby. So you have to think there, if fertilization should happen, sperm and egg should be available in male and female. So there should be some events happening in the body before fertilization. Means sperm and egg should be available, that means it should be produced first. If sperm and egg is there in the body, then only they can meet. So first step before fertilization should be formation of egg and sperm in the body, isn't it? Because when at the age of 12 years or 13 years, when human beings attain sexual maturity, reproductive organs become mature and start producing gametes. That means first gamete production should occur, then only produced gamete can meet. Simple reason ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಗ್ ಮೀಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟು ಎಗ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಬಾಡಿಲಿ. ಸೊ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೇಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್. That means there should be some events happening before fertilization, that is formation of gametes. So those events which occur before fertilization is what we call pre-fertilization. Name only says pre means before fertilization. Then actual fertilization, that is male and female gametes meet. Then after that what happens? After fertilization what happens? Zygote will be produced, zygote becomes embryo. All these stages are called post-fertilization changes. Post means after fertilization. So these are the three events of sexual reproduction. Number one, pre-fertilization, that is events which occur before fertilization. Post-fertilization means events which occur after fertilization. So pre-fertilization, actual fertilization, then after fertilization. So these are the three events of sexual reproduction. So one by one we will see now. Under pre-fertilization, before we go into detail of these three events, first I will tell you, pre-fertilization again involves two steps. Because fertilization means union of male and female gametes. That is, here in case of human beings, sperm and egg meets. No, that is fertilization. In case of bryophytes, it is antherozooid and egg meets. You know. So before these meet, these should be produced in the body first. So process of formation of sperm and egg, you already know. Formation of sperm is called spermatogenesis. Process of formation of egg is called oogenesis. You have already learnt in human reproduction chapter. So in general, production of sperm and egg, production of gamete is called gametogenesis. First gamete should be produced in the body. Then if gametes are produced and it remains there only in male and female, then how they meet? So next process should be gamete transfer, not exchange. Why not exchange? Because only male gamete, that is sperm will enter the female reproductive tract. Sperm will swim and reach the egg in the fallopian tube. But female gamete egg doesn't come out and swim. That is not possible. So egg will be there only in the fallopian tube inside the body of female. Sperm only will be released by the male during mating. At the end of mating, male releases semen, the fluid containing sperms. Then sperms will swim and reach through uterus, cervix, uterus, then finally fallopian tube and meets the egg. When sperm meets the egg, that is fertilization. So before fertilization, gametes should be produced. If they are produced in male and female, male has to transfer sperm to female. By what process? That is mating. So that is what we call gamete transfer. Gamete transfer. Like suppose we will take example. X is a name of male, Y is a name of female. If X and Y, they don't meet only, they don't mate, or they don't undergo sex or sexual intercourse, then gametes cannot be transferred, isn't it? So if they remain separately, male and female remain separately, but gametes are produced, gametogenesis happened. But if gamete transfer doesn't happen, if male doesn't transfer sperm to female, then fertilization is not possible, because fertilization means sperm and egg should meet, male and female gamete should meet. If male and female gamete should meet, they should come together. When they will come together? Only after mating. Male should release sperm, then only it can swim and reach female gamete. So that process is called gamete transfer. That will be mating in case of human beings. Even in other organisms also it is mating only. Okay, not other organisms. In case of animals it is mating. In case of plants, where anthrozoids will swim in water and reach archegonium. Okay, so that is called gamete transfer. Then in case of gamete transfer, in case of plants will be pollination. Pollen grains will be transferred from stamen to stigma of flower. That is gamete transfer in case of plants. So that is why in generally we call it as gamete transfer. Male gamete should be transferred to female gamete. So then actual sperm and egg meets, that is fertilization. And after fertilization, again two stages are there. First one is when sperm and egg meets, it produces zygote. So first step is zygote formation here. Zygote formation, then zygote becomes embryo. So the process of formation of embryo is called embryogenesis. Zygote formation is not called zygogenesis, okay, that is wrong. We just say zygote formation, but embryo formation is called embryogenesis. Okay, genesis means formation, embryo is produced. Zygote becomes embryo, and embryo becomes fetus in case of human beings. Okay, in case of plants, seed and fruit will be produced, So these are the three events: pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization are the three events of sexual reproduction. Now we have to learn these processes one by one. First we are learning about gametogenesis. So I will put a line here and I will start writing this side. So first step under pre-fertilization. Under first stage, pre-fertilization, that is what happens before fertilization. Under pre-fertilization, two events are there. One is formation of gametes. And once gamete is produced in male and female, it should be transferred. So that will be gamete transfer. Okay, so first step we have to learn, that is gametogenesis. The word gamete means sex cell. Gamete means sex cell. Like in case of human beings, male gamete or male sex cell is sperm, female gamete is egg. In case of bryophytes, male gamete is antherozoid and female gamete is egg. So like that, gamete should be produced first. Means if sperm and egg should meet, first the sperm and egg should be available in the body, then only they can meet. Simple. So gamete means sex cell, genesis means formation. So it is formation of gametes in the organisms. That is what we call gametogenesis. So usually gametes will be produced in organisms, in two different organisms like male and female, but it's not compulsory. It's not compulsory that gametes should be produced in two different parents only. There are some organisms where single organism contains both male and female reproductive organs. No, you already know this. Like if any plants have both male and female reproductive organ in the same flower, like hibiscus, then it is called bisexual flower. Bi means two. Both male and female reproductive organs in the same flower. If they are produced on two different flowers, then we use word unisexual. No. So, or in case of animals, you can use word monoecious and dioecious. That also we are going to learn now next. I just told you. So usually male and female gametes will be produced in two different organisms, male and female. Sometimes gametes will be similar, both. You cannot differentiate which is male, which is female. Like for example, in case of Chlamydomonas, in case of algae, in some algae like Cladophora, will be isogametes. Iso means similar gametes, like this. In this, you cannot differentiate which is male gamete, which is female gamete. Both look same. So if both look same, that is why word is used iso. Iso means similar. Isogametes means similar gametes. You cannot differentiate which is male, which is female. In case of algae, it is an alga. Name of the alga is Cladophora. Okay, so it will be heterogametes. In case of other organisms, like we will take example, but before that I have to tell you, isogametes can also be called as homogametes, because homo means same, iso means similar. Okay, both are almost having same meaning, because here male and female gametes look same, so they are called homogametes, means similar gametes, or you can call isogametes. If male and female gamete look different, then it is called heterogametes. The word hetero means different gametes. Like for example, we'll take an example, algae, an alga fucus. Fucus is the name of algae, where gametes will be like this. See, you can see here, this is a female gamete, and this is male gamete. And you can see that male gamete is very small, female gamete is slightly bigger. Bigger means not like football, very small only. Compared to sperm, it is larger. The sperm compare madre salpa doddiದೆ. Okay, like that. This is male gamete, this is female gamete. It is not called sperm, it is just called male gamete, and this is female gamete. Okay, so female gamete is bigger and male gamete is smaller, and if you look at the structure and shape, they look different, so they are called heterogametes. And even in case of human beings also, human beings, also it is heterogametes only. You already know egg will be having structure like this. No, then male gamete will be having structure like this. You know, this is sperm and this will be egg. Here also like that only. Sperm will be very small compared to egg. Okay, so egg is almost circular in shape, round in shape, and sperm is having different shape. Like head is like pointed, then it has a tail. So they look different. As they look different, hetero means different. So they are called heterogametes. Okay, so this is under gametogenesis we are learning. Then next is, there is no space, so I have to rub this. I think better I will rub all this. No, it's okay, let it be there. So what we are learning now? We are learning about gametogenesis. So gametes produced will not be called as sperm and egg only always. Like in case of animals, like humans, in case of human beings, in case of dogs. Okay, so some in animals usually it is called, male gamete is called sperm and female gamete is called egg. This is male symbol, you know already, you have learnt in morphology of flowering plant. This is male symbol, this is female symbol. Male gamete is sperm, female gamete is egg in animals. But in case of some plants like bryophytes and pteridophytes, in them male gamete is antherozooid. Antherozooid, if you remember, antherozooid also will be having structure like this. Okay, then female gamete is egg, or it is also called, egg is also called ovum. No? So here also it is called ovum. Ovum is singular, ova are plural. Means only one is there, then it is ovum. Many are there, then ova. Okay, so egg, if many are there, you can call eggs. If only one is there, egg, like in English. So in bryophytes and pteridophytes, male gamete is called antherozooid and female gamete is called egg. So usually these words are used in different organisms. Okay, then next process what we have to learn under gametogenesis is sexuality in organisms. Sexuality means whether organisms are bisexual or unisexual, or that is monoecious, dioecious, homothallic, heterothallic, what it is, that we have to learn. Under same heading, gametogenesis, we are learning sexuality in organisms. So when we start this concept sexuality in organisms, half if we finish it will not be good. We have to finish entire thing. To finish entire sexuality in organisms, minimum 20 minutes it will take. So but already half an hour crossed, so we can't 20 minutes here in this camera. So we will learn sexuality in organisms in next class. So keep watching my classes. Thank you.